Hello everybody. I apologize that we are quite behind today. How is everybody doing on this beautiful Sunday? It's very nice outside today. It was gorgeous yesterday as well. Did anybody get outside to do anything this weekend? All right. Oopsie. Just getting everything up on my end. There we go. Okay, I see there's a few there. Hi, Ramona. How are you doing? So some of you guys might recognize this idea with this card here. I did a class. Hi, Linda. Hi, Janet. I did a class last year when the catalog launched. I did the Puffin party, and that included the purchase of this stamp set and then a sampling of the DSP, and everybody got to choose which paper they used on this card. I don't have those cards handy, but they were some of my favorites. Hi, Heather. I loved that stamp set. So given that my 14th birthday was on Thursday, as a demonstrator, I figured I would do a birthday card for today. And I also pulled back in from a couple weeks ago the Easel card. So I just created a little prop with this one here and put the greeting on the inside. It wasn't quite working on the front like I wanted it to, so I decided rather than fight with where to put it, I would just put it on the inside. Hi, Kathy. All right, so welcome here, everybody. We're going to make this card today, and I will not delay because we were already very delayed in getting here. So I will just get straight to making this, and then we can chat at the end about the promotions and what's coming with Stampin' Up, and then what I'll be offering with my specials around the birthday celebration and the upcoming retiring list. I will extend my birthday promotion to at least tomorrow, and then I'm just working out the details of what else is to come. So we will chat about that afterwards, but we'll get started with this. So I'll give you guys the measurements first, and then that way if anybody wants them to be able to make this later, you guys will have them. So I started with the card base that's 4 1/4 by 11. And then, oh goodness, sorry. You've got a barking dog to listen to. And then I actually just need to grab my ruler so I can give you guys the proper sizes because I changed these a little bit as I was designing. So the next layer, the black, is 4 by 5 3/8. That sounds a little off. It's interesting. That is what I did. Let me just make sure that this one, we'll measure this one here. I might need to trim that one down. It is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to trim this one down. So don't go with the, yeah, 4 by 5 1/4. I didn't think that sounded right. So I've trimmed that one down a little bit. Then the Coastal Cabana is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 is what it should be. Yeah. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I'm just going to make sure that my other one is the proper size. And then the white should be 3 3/4 by 5. Yeah. And I textured that one with Tasteful Textile. You guys know that's one of my favorites. We are getting our, we get to see the retiring list on Wednesday. I am super nervous. I'm always so nervous about this time of year. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I sure do. Then I've got the Pattern Party DSP. This is my favorite one, so that's partly why I chose this one and chose to go with this project, because it's some of my favorite things for the birthday celebration. So this DSP is 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. I will trim this one down. And then the black is 1 7/8 by 3 3/4. So I'll just get this one ready. I usually trim these ones as I go. And then that way I'm not wasting that DSP. I've also brought in a little label from the Scalloped Contours dies. So these ones here, I use the second largest. And then I have some scrap to stamp the puffin and some embellishments. So I'll show you guys what I did. I don't know if you've noticed how the puffin is really nice and crisp black. I like to get a nice crisp image when it's a solid image like that. So my trick for that is to use the Stamparatus. So I'm gonna get that ready first, and then that's ready to go. So I've just got a scrap of my white, and I'll hold that in place here. And I just need to make sure that it is fully covered. Okay, so now I can just take my Memento. I'm using Memento because I'm going to color that in a little bit with blends. I should move this over a tad so you guys can see what's going on with the Stamparatus. I felt like my view was a little naked, and that's probably not the best way of saying that. I don't have my host code here for you guys today, so I'll have to grab that and put it in place. So you'll see with this first image here that it's not very crisp. I'll bring this a little closer for you guys to see. You can see that it's like filled out, but it could use a little bit darker. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. There's some spots missing a little bit. So I'm just going to go over this again and make sure that all of the solid areas, especially, I'm going to have to wipe this off, are filled in. I have one little spot on his tail that doesn't want to fill in. And I will actually just need to grab my chamois. I usually keep a 1 inch by 1 inch piece of chamois so that I can wipe off any little spots like this, but the back end of that got a little bit dirty, and the spine here. So I keep a 1 inch by 1 inch piece of the chamois handy usually, and then I can just spot clean areas that need it, but I didn't do that, so it was the full chamois. I started with a different project for you guys and changed my mind. It was not coming out like I wanted it to, and if I can find it, I will show you guys what I had going that I was not in love with. Okay, so there we go. And he just needs a little bit more in that little nook of his neck. So I'll just ink that up. There we go. Okay, and his beak is a little bit. So by using your Stamparatus, you can just fill in any areas that are a little bit weak in the stamping. So now we have a much more solid puffin. And I will just clean off the puffin before I close this up and put it away. And then that way I can keep my sheet a little bit clean. So we're all done with that. And now we will color this image here. I did miss a slight little spot on his beak, and it's just a line. So I'll show this to you guys. Just right here, there's a little spot missing. So all I'll do is just take my black marker and just go over that. And then now that's nice and filled in, and I don't need to worry about putting it back in the right spot of the Stamparatus. Yeah, the chamois are amazing, aren't they, Linda? I love the chamois. Now I'm going to bring this nice and close so you guys can see. I was chatting with somebody about this yesterday, how you can use a really light shade of an alcohol marker to just give a little bit of depth to certain areas of your images. Often this is done on the outside of an image, but I knew I was fussy cutting the puffin, so I decided to put it within the belly here. So there's just a really faint line of the light gray granite. So I'll do that first, and because it's such a faint line, I did that with the bullet tip. So light gray granite, and I'm just going to go along the inside of his face and belly. So I'll bring this closer so you guys can see that. So there's, again, super faint, but just right along here and right along here. So I've colored that in, and I will now do, I've got Flirty Flamingo for the dots on the hat. I have Pool Party for the hat. I actually use Calypso Coral for the beak and the feet, and that's it. So I'm going to do the dark, and I'll just use the bullet tip for this because this is such a fine area. So I did the dark and just put a little bit to the left of each of those circles, And then I'll use the light brush tip just to fan that out a bit. It's, again, small area and very faint, so you don't need to do a lot of shading there. And then I'll do the same thing with the dark pool party down the left side of the hat. Just a little bit, and then I'll fan it out with the brush tip. Another reason I decided I would use Party Puffins is that I should show you guys the stamp set. I knew a lot of you have it because a lot of you did the puffin party with me last spring, and so I knew it was something that you guys could actually use. And most of us have white and black cardstock, so, and some basic layering shapes, so I knew this would be an easy one for you guys to be able to make at home. All right, now I forgot the little pom-pom, so I've got to color that in. This is the Flirty Flamingo again. Okay. And then just a little bit of the Calypso Coral for the beak. And I'm just putting a little bit down the left side again. This one's a little bit more work to blend out, but, and I think, there we go. I liked the Calypso Coral with this paper a little bit more than the pumpkin pie, so that is why I chose this one. Now, speaking of colors, I don't know for sure yet if we're allowed to share the sneak peeks of the colors. I have asked, and I'm just waiting on a response. But have any of you guys seen any of the sneak peeks? Have any of you guys, I know some people have shared them. So tell me, have you seen any of the other demonstrators share any of the in colors? And if you have, let me know what you guys think of them. I'm excited so far, but I am more sad at Misty Moonlight leaving. That's one of my favorites. Okay, so now we need to fussy cut this guy. So in order to fussy cut it, I'm just going to go a little bit closer. I find it easier to trim in a little bit before I do the close fussy cut so that I don't have so much paper in the way. And then when you're fussy cutting, what you want to do, fussy cutting is just a term for doing this fussy little cutting to get nice and close to the image. So I find that it's easier if you turn your paper into the scissors. So you'll see what I mean here. I am going to just keep rotating the paper as opposed to rotating the scissors. The scissors rotate a little bit, but for the most part, I'm using my left hand to turn the paper instead of having to turn the scissors. And then that way, I find I get a smoother cut. There are some that I'll move the scissor hand a little bit more, but for the most part, it's twisting the paper around with my left hand. What team are you? Team fussy cut or no? I think people either love it or hate it. There's a few of us who are kind of in between. I don't love it, but I don't despise it. I love a punch. I love die cuts too, but they're just definitely more work than a punch is. Punches are like the easiest thing in the world to do or to use, I find. I've got a little area there that I need to clean up with my scissors, but I'll do that after. Just about done. I fussy cut so many of these last spring when this was released. I think I did a couple of swaps with this stamp set. I believe it was in the pre-order Party Puffins. I'm pretty sure it was one that we could order early, so it was an easy one to use for swaps. Soon we'll get to see what we're able to pre-order, I think, too. Maybe on, I don't know if we get to see the pre-order list on the 23rd, but the 23rd is going to be a super busy day. We have our Cards for Ukraine fundraiser on the 23rd. And we also get to see the retiring list, and we also get to see the new catalog. And we've heard that there's going to be a sale with the retiring list So that's partly why I need to chat with you guys a little bit about that after. So I'm just going to bring in a scrap sheet. I'll show you guys this a little bit closer. I have used a little bit of Pool Party on this label, and then I flecked some black ink on there, as I usually like to do. Sometimes the color varies, but I often like to put a little bit of ink there. And then I've got a Pool Party, or it's not a Pool Party blending brush, it's just the one I tend to use in Pool Party, but also in other colors of that tone. I would use this same one in Coastal Cabana. So I'm going to just blend over the center, and remember to dab off. Every time you pick up ink, dab off so that you don't get a big blot in the middle of your project, unless that's the look you're going for. But if you're not, then just remember to blot off first. So that's just nice and faint. That's all I want there. And I have my black blends. I'm going to just move these aside for a second. I don't want those to get the fleck all over them. And there we go. Show you guys that. So now I have just that slate spatter. Get that guy out of the way. And then we can bring this back in. Now, I will just put this back here. I don't usually forget this, but that way everybody knows who I am. So we'll just leave that there. It's only taped down on one side, but we're good. Okay, so now we need to get the card base ready, and then we can work on assembly. So because this is an easel card, there's a little bit extra scoring to do than just our basic score, but I've left this one. I did not pre-score it today so that I could show you guys how to do this. So if you saw my lives a few weeks ago when Celebration was still on, then you guys have seen this, but just in case you are new to the easel fold, I will still show you guys how to achieve this. So you're going to score at 2 3/4, and if you're using this cutter, there are 2 of these blades here. One is for scoring and one is for cutting. The lighter gray one is for scoring and the darker gray one is for cutting. So what I usually do is just move the cutting one fully out of the way, because I don't want to accidentally cut my card as opposed to scoring. So then you can just press your guide down and then you can score across there, and then you'll get this nice score line so that you can fold your card. I'm using thick white for my base, so I'm going to go a little bit harder. If I was using basic white, then I wouldn't want to go quite as hard, but okay. You just don't want to go so hard that you tear through. So then we've got these 2 score lines, and that will create my easel folds. How many of you guys have created an easel card before? Let me know if you've done one. I will also be sharing some measurements for a mystery stamping coming up, I think Thursday. The other catch to the schedule of lives this week is that with that retiring list, I want to be able to show you guys with a catalog walkthrough what all is retiring. So because Wednesday is so busy with the fundraiser and everything else, I know I won't have time to mark my catalog and come live on Wednesday to show you guys. So let me know if Thursday is a day that you guys would like to grab your catalog and then join me to flip page by page to mark your catalog, or make a note somewhere if you don't like to mark right in your catalog of what is leaving. So just comment here and let me know if Thursday is a good day for you guys. That one usually takes a lot longer because we're flipping through page by page. And then I often show you guys some samples as well. So we'll just keep this aside, and then we'll work on these layers here before we go ahead and put it together. I missed one step. I do need to stamp the greeting. Now I'm going to show you guys the stamp set. This is Party Puffins. Are they not super cute? I was so excited when this arrived last year. I used this one here and I created my own wobbler. I've since purchased wobblers, but at the time I didn't have any, so I made one. And this little guy here was on a wobbler, so he would just wobble on the front of the card. But Anyway, I'll use Happy Birthday from that and Memento ink. Sometimes I use StazOn, but today it's Memento. It was handy. Now let's hope that's a straight. There we go. And I just need to, what was I going to show you guys? I was going to show you guys something. Now I'll just trim this off. And I just used my scissors for that. Every time I don't close my ink pad, I think of David. Ethan has helped go back through some of the videos to check comments for me. And he notices that too. So, David, if you're here. The score lines, Lynn, are 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Sorry, I missed that. And Kathy asked that too. Okay, so now we have this one here, and I'll show you what I did to the inside. I outlined with the greeting layer with some Pool Party. So I just took my blends. If you're not comfortable using your blends for this, I'll show you 2 different methods actually. May as well. So you can do this. You can just run your blends along there. Or you can take your ink pad and just tap. So you just want to be careful if you are using your ink pad not to drag. If you drag and you've got the newer foam style pads, you may tear them. So just be careful if that is a method that you're going to give a try. And then if you're using your blends, you just want to be careful not to go too hard on the sides of them. Just checking the comments here to see if I can't remember if I showed you guys the waves card that I made with the easel. I'm going to just try to find it, see if I have it handy here. I have a little stash of cards that I've made in a little holder right in front of me. It is not right in this one, but if I find it, I'll show you guys. I did a landscape version easel card a couple of weeks ago, and I used the Waves product to make that. Bear with me. Sorry, guys. I have another stash of cards. Oh, here, I think I found it. I don't think I showed you guys this. So this is not the only style that you can do easels in. You can do them in many different styles and shapes even. You can, if you had, say, we did one a long time ago where it was an oval shaped card. So we created the fold halfway up the oval and then it propped up from there. I'd have to maybe do one and show you guys, but I did this version here with the waves and created a landscape easel as well. So the idea is that you just create your prop by scoring halfway along whatever your front is. So this one here was 2 1/8, so 4 1/4 and 2 1/8, and then I got my landscape version easel. But I thought that was a nice way to prop up the wave, and this one here is embossed. I knew it was nearby. Okay, now we will first build these layers. That's what we're gonna do. So what I want to do is get all these layers attached. So I'm going to attach the DSP to the black cardstock. Today Tombo's been my friend. I know we talk sometimes about what adhesive do we use? Do we go back and forth? I often switch back and forth. Definitely have my go-to adhesives for certain types of things, but now I'm not going to attach this one just yet. I'm going to wrap some ribbon around that one, but first I will just distress these edges and I'll attach the white to the Coastal Cabana and the Coastal Cabana to the black so that all of the little elements are ready to go. For those of you who have the Subtle that retired last year, that was the one that was like, or was it the year before? I can't remember if it retired in 2020 or 2021. It was during COVID anyway, and I was so nervous that that one would retire. It was my favorite. I used it all the time when I just wanted a little bit of texture. So I was so sad that it was leaving, but I've managed with Tasteful Textile. So now I'm nervous that Tasteful Textile is going to be the one to go. So now I'll glue down the Coastal Cabana. I just was doing a quick dry fit there just to make sure that everything lines up properly, which it does. So we'll just go ahead and attach these. There we go. What do you guys think for embossing folders? Do you have any guesses as to which ones are going to be on the retiring list, and which one are you most afraid might be? The ones I don't want to see go, the brick folder, I don't want this one to go. If they brought back one that looked like Subtle, I would be very thrilled. Even though we've already had one, some products are just worth having come back again, I find. Okay, I do have a tiny little bit of black showing here, so I want to clean that up because once it's on here against the white, I'll really notice that. So I'm going to just give that a quick trim, but it's just a very slight amount. There we go. I'll show you guys. It is just this slightest little hair, but now it'll be nice and clean. And before I attach that, I am going to wrap some of the Flowers for Every Season. This white one, you guys know this is one of my favorites. This is another thing. I do not want to see this ribbon go. I really hope this ribbon stays, but it's been around, I think, for a couple of years now. It stayed, oh, I believe it's been out for 2 years, and it went with, the Flowers for Every Season. Which one did it go with? I can't remember what other product it went with, but I'm not sure that it's going to stay this year. It had coordinating product that I'm pretty sure retired last year. I might be wrong. Maybe it just came out this year. I'd be thrilled if it stays. And then I've got my ribbon scissors. I just about used paper snips because I didn't think I had them right in front of me. I'll check the comments here to see if you guys have answered anything. Okay, so now we've got that. I did not glue dot this down this time. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit more. So the advantage of not glue dotting down my bow before I tie it is I can cinch that over if needed. And then this one here I will attach with Tear and Tape. You just ordered the Tasteful Textile. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to retire. I'm just really nervous that it will. Do you guys find that at all, that you get nervous? I don't know if that's like everybody, or is it just demonstrators that get nervous about what's retiring? I don't need 2 or a third one of those, but I am very nervous all the time when a retiring list is coming. Not so much with the mini ones, because we know that most of that stuff could retire. But with the annual, oh, I just get my favorites and I don't want to see them go. Though there's always new and exciting things, but now I'm just using this as my guide to place this next one. Find that's a quick, easy way to get my layers down. I'm just going to check the comments here again and see if you guys have any favorites. No favorites yet? Is there anything you guys are worried about leaving? Not worried, but hopeful maybe it won't. So now, you could always, if you didn't have this here, I think that little party puffin would still look cute on his own. I just liked the extra layer of the scallop contours. The other thing with this one here, I'll just show you guys, these layers separate. So if you wanted to feed ribbon through those, you definitely can with this particular die. This is another one that I sure hope does not retire this year. I kind of have a suspicion that the things that are on sale right now are going to be on that retiring list. That would not surprise me at all. I hope that the Beauty of Friendship doesn't. I think that's such a good one. It's a good staple, but things can't stick around forever, I suppose. It would be kind of boring if we had the same product forever. Towards the end of the day, we'll get to see what the next in color. We've seen 2. Now we'll get to see the 3rd one towards the end of the day. So on my team page, we're guessing today as to what we think the next one will be. So that's down with dimensionals. It's slightly crooked. So I'm just going to carefully peel that off. That is the one thing with texture, is sometimes you can just gently lift off and put the item back down. Now I will dimensional the puffin. I always go to call it a penguin. How about you guys? I don't know. I know it's not a penguin. And then we had that cute penguin set at Christmas time. It's actually coming back, so that's good. It'll be back in the next holiday catalog, which we knew when they posted the retired list for that one, that we would get it back. I don't mind when that happens, when we get to have another season with something. So it's not available, I don't believe, in the annual or in the in-between period, but it's something we can get again once July comes. Okay, so there we go. This is now dimensionaled on there, and I have some rhinestones and some twine that came with it. So I did a medium. And here we go, where you guys can see I've got all small on this one, but I'm completely out of medium. So I've had to open a new package, and now I will separate this new package. I'll put the large ones in my package of large rhinestones. I'll snip off these medium ones and I'll put them in my package of medium ones that are empty. And then I'll put the small ones in my package of small rhinestones. And I'll show you, for those of you who weren't here the other day, what I mean by that in just a second. So I'm just using my take your pick tool and sticking those down, and I will grab here. So I just use a stamp case, and all of these small ones go in one case, and then I put all of the medium ones in another one and all of the large ones in another one. So that one's got to be separated yet, the brand new package that I just opened. And now we're almost done. All we need to do now is go ahead and put this layer on the card front, and then I want to dress up the inside of the card just a little bit with the greeting and a little bit of spatter of Pool Party ink. So before I burnish the folds, I'm actually going to just attach this to that front of the card, and I will just place this face down here, and then I'll put a few dimensionals on the back of the lower half of the black. I do not want these dimensionals to go on the upper half. They need to stay below that score line of the white base. Otherwise, I will tape my easel shut and it won't function. Hi, Kathy. Stitched rectangles, right, Kathy? I'm afraid for those too. They are not on the sale list, of course, but they have been unavailable for, I don't know how long, a while. And I'm afraid that that means that they might be retiring and we might not get them back. I hope that doesn't happen. Those are a staple, unless we get something that layers perfectly inside Stitch So Sweetly, which I also hope does not go. It's another one. I don't know if I have it handy. Let me see. There's certain ones that just stay right here, but Stitch So Sweetly and Tasteful Labels and tailor-made tags, I sure hope they don't go anywhere. Okay, so we're going to just peel these off. How about you guys? Do you guys find you use those all the time as well? Last year, the one we were all devastated about was the stitched shapes. Do you guys remember that? Kathy, I think you do. They, I believe, were also low in inventory, or they might have even been on stop order. Now we don't have back orders. We just can't take back orders. But last year they would do stop orders. So they would, if something was on back order with an extended period before they knew when it would come in, it would just go on stop order status and we couldn't even order it. And I think that happened with the stitched shapes. So now that that's on there, you guys can see here, it's not attached on the upper half. So now we can take this and fold that down. Although I'm not going to do the next one before I do the spatter. So I'll actually open that back up. I'm going to move this one out of the way. And I need to just put my scrap sheet back under here because I don't want this to get on my, this work surface is not wipeable. My other one is glossy and I can just wipe it, but this one is a glare-proof matte finish, so I can't wipe that one clean. So I'm just trying to concentrate this little spatter just in the middle area where my greeting is going to go. And I had the greeting. Oh, here it is. You never know where they might end up. And now the little greeting there will just have a little bit of detail behind it, but I still have white space for everything else. And then this needs to go on dimensionals. If you don't raise the prop, then your card will just fall forward. You need the prop there higher up than the base of the card so that it will hold it steady. Okay. And we're just going to dimensional these. And that's just going to go right there. Now I can burnish that last fold. I just didn't want to burnish that down so that it was in the way of getting that on, but now we do need to burnish this back one. There. And then you've got a nice prop for that cute little easel. So whoever you give this to can keep that on display and not worry that the card is going to fall down. Do you guys do a book fold or tent fold? I know I like a tent fold, though the disadvantage of that is that sometimes the card will kind of fall open. Let me just see for example with this one. This is one of our cards for Ukraine cards. So for example, when you stand it up, sometimes it just slides open and then it doesn't stay standing. So that's the disadvantage of a tent fold. I just like the look of a tent fold. And so some people do book folds to avoid the card falling down all the way. So tell me what you guys like. Which do you do? Book folds or tent folds? I'd love to know. And okay, so I'll give you guys a second to answer that. I am just going to grab my birthday flyer again so that we can review what my birthday special is. And while I'm doing that, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I realized today that I am 14 followers away from hitting 1,000 followers. So if you guys would like to follow me there, if you don't, that would be amazing. I'd love to hit that 1,000 mark. I don't think it does anything special for me. It's just a number to hit that I thought would be fun. And if you do, if you are up for sharing that page to help me hit that 1,000, I would love your support. So I just thought I would share that with you guys today. I just thought it was funny that I noticed it was 14 away today, and I just celebrated 14 years as a demonstrator. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to set one of these back down. Then you guys can see that. Is this something you guys will make? I hope you will. I hope especially those of you who got the party puffins with your puffin party last year will do that. I'll have to do some sort of party when our new catalog releases. We'll have to do another event similar to that. I had a lady make cookies to go with that event, and she took this guy and put it on those cookies and did them. I had colored it the same as this one, so she made it look just like this. She did a really good job. I actually have some coming from her for another event. Tent fold, but you should do a book fold since we did that in club. Yeah. Okay. Whoopsie. So what is your guys' consensus on doing a catalog walkthrough versus, I don't know that there's time to do catalog walkthrough and mystery stamping in the same day. I have the next mystery stamping card designed and I have a flyer all made up, or an image all made up with the measurements. I just don't want to overwhelm you guys with doing catalog walkthrough and mystery stamping in one day. But if you guys don't mind commenting, just so that I get an opinion from you guys on what you want to do first. Do you want to do a catalog walkthrough first and maybe delay the mystery stamping a day, or the other way around? Do mystery stamping first and then catalog walkthrough? Do you guys feel like doing a whole catalog walkthrough and a project is too much in one day? I have a feeling the catalog walkthrough would probably take at least an hour, because the catalog is, let me just check how many pages it is. It is 176 pages. That includes the index, but 171 of product. So what do you guys think? Too much in one day? I have a feeling that that's the same idea, or I have the same feelings on that. Okay, so I will maybe make a poll if you guys are more comfortable commenting there. But I'm thinking that likely we'll do catalog walkthrough. So do you guys prefer to see the catalog walkthrough first as opposed to mystery stamping, and then do the walkthrough so that you guys know what's what? There is supposed to be a sale associated with the retiring list on Wednesday, and we always know that things can sell out quickly. So I'm inclined to do the catalog walkthrough first so that you guys can see as quickly as possible what's retired. You will get to see on Wednesday what I think we're allowed to share that on Wednesday because the sale is supposed to take effect Wednesday. So I think that I can still share that. I just won't necessarily have the time to actually walk through page by page with you on Wednesday, because I will need time to mark my catalog, grab samples, and on Wednesday, just with all of the lists posting, it's probably going to be too rushed to do that before we have our fundraiser on Wednesday evening. So is Thursday okay with you guys? Let me know what you think about that. And again, you can always access the list faster. I will do a retirement list. I know it's going to be super close to my birthday celebration, but I'm thinking I might offer you guys 2 different promotions so that you have 2 opportunities to earn the free class. One would be a birthday class, and then one would be a retirement party. That's what my thinking is now. Those are the things that I'm mulling over and just needed to finalize before I have them to announce it for you guys. But I will for sure extend my birthday celebration order deadline till tomorrow, for sure. And then I'm just going to sort out those final details between the birthday celebration and the retirement party so that I can let you know if it'll close tomorrow in order to allow us time to gear up for the retiring one. So just to recap, the mystery card challenge for my birthday celebration, I did this on Thursday because Thursday was my 14th anniversary. If you go back to the post or the live video from Thursday and play along with the mystery challenge, even if you didn't do it with me live, you can still participate. You can still go ahead and do that project and post it in the comments of the post that I posted on my page after the video. So this image is posted with that, along with some pictures of how much snow is in the yard. So if you post it anywhere on that thread, either on the main photo or the main thread or this actual photo, your card will be counted in the draw, and the prize for the winner of between the people who play along with the challenge is a package of brushed brass butterflies. That is a hard one to say really fast. And then my ordering bonus for the birthday celebration is with a $50 purchase, you will get your name put into a chance to win one of the Spring is in Bloom bundles. This is the order deadline that is extended until tomorrow for sure, possibly Tuesday. And then this will just be subject to availability of those bundles. With this $75 purchase, you get 14% of your order towards free product. So I'm sharing the host benefits with all of you as an extra way to give away product to you guys to celebrate my birthday and my Stampin' Up! Birthday. And with a $100 purchase, you get invited to the birthday party class. These incentives are cumulative as well. So if you place a $100 order, you get all of these. A chance to win a Spring is in Bloom bundle, 14% of your order and free product, and the free birthday class. So hopefully that makes sense. And I will let you guys know if I can go live tomorrow. I would love to. I would love to do this every single day. I do have Stamp Club tomorrow, and we have some appointments tomorrow. So I'm just seeing what I can work out with that, but I'll update to let you guys know. I will make a post just to say whether there will be a live or whether there won't be, and to update on what the final deadline for this incentive will be. And then I will also make a post to get you guys to share with me what you think about going live to do the catalog walkthrough of retiring products, if Thursday's the day that we should do that. I don't know that I see any answers on whether Thursday. I'm just checking the comments here. I see that you guys think it's too much. I agree. I think we'll do the walkthrough one day and the mystery challenge another day. And we'll just decide when the walkthrough will be. I really wish I could do it with you guys Wednesday, but I have a feeling that's just going to be a really nutty day. If there's any chance that I can, I will let you guys know, but I'm thinking it's probably not super likely for Wednesday, but Thursday instead. All right, that is everything for today. That is the Party Puffin Easel card. And before we go, do you guys own this? Tell me who has this stamp set. And I sure hope it doesn't retire. Let's hope this one carries forward. He's so cute. These little guys are so cute. If you scroll back on my page to last May, you can see the rest of the projects that we did with this set. I actually used this DSP on those ones as well. All right, so that's today's project. I will update with those various things by tomorrow to let you guys know what is what. And I will see you guys again soon. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone.